Oh, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Comic Corner here on the Agents Fandom Network, here on Facebook, YouTube, and The Bad Place. My name is Damon. I'm your host. What we do here is comic book news, reviews, interviews, like every other comic book podcast on the internet. My name is Damon. I'm your host, and I'm joined alongside with my two buddies today. AF, good after evening to you. Times are about to change, and things are about to get way more complicated.
Times are about to change. The weather's changing. I have an iced coffee in hand. The sun is shining through my window. I'm loving it. It's 24 degrees Celsius today. I'm just
What
happy
is
as can
that
be.
in if in
I was gonna
American?
say, please
I,
explain to us dumb
I
Americans.
don't know. Probably like 80 odd degrees Fahrenheit,
So
maybe,
hot.
possibly.
Hot. Yes. Sure, that's warm. TJ, good morning.
Good morning. I was gonna say my stupid American brain. You say 23 degrees Celsius. I'm like, damn, that's cold as hell, man. But I'm doing good. It's a little chilly here actually, but I personally am loving it. I love fall myself, so we're doing good, baby. It's a good Thursday, good Thursday.
The leaves are on the ground, the foliage is foliaging. It is full fall weather here in New England. It's gorgeous, beautiful. Let's talk about some gorgeous, beautiful comics. Here's a rundown for today. If you can't tell, I'm talking a little fast. We're going to try to get this show as fast as humanly possible. I have things to do today that just came up, so we're going to be sprinting. USM's final days. We only have a couple more issues left of the Ultimate Spider-Man. We're not going to so much talk about the book. We're going to talk about the book a little bit, but I'm going to have a question for TJ, and we're going to have a little bit of a discussion. 1 month remaining. The Ultimates had a big Doom focused issue, very similar to the last Doom focused issue. And in the end, we have 1 month remaining before the Maker returns. Are we ready for it? Are they ready for it? I guess we'll find out. And Magic has a price, an absolute Wonder Woman. And that's all I'll leave on that. But let's get into the big book of the week. The book that everyone was so high on 2 years ago. This was like the book. This was my number one comic of 2024. This is Ultimate Spider-Man, written by Jonathan Hickman, art from Marco Cicchetto, colors to Eric Arciniega, and letter Corey Pettit. This is the full squad back on this book. Marco's back on it. Hickman's been Hickmaning the entire time. Arciniega's been doing amazing colors. And we had a huge cliffhanger last issue, a massive cliffhanger last issue, with the blowing up of Gwen Stacy. The boom. She gone. And we picked this issue up not 1 month later. I think this is the first issue that doesn't take place in the month it comes out. This takes place in December, 3 months after the fact. And let me just ask you this, TJ. I've been seeing a lot of online opinions, and opinions online are very loud, very vocal. Have you fallen out of love with this book? Or are you just worried because now we have a timestamp, essentially 2 issues left after this, and that is always in the back of your mind now reading this? Would you feel differently about this book if that timestamp wasn't there? And let me just say this issue is excellent. This issue is excellent. The art here from Marco Cicchetto, excellent. We get a very cool reference to a fan favorite Spider-Man arc run. Without getting into spoilers, because I don't want to get too deep into spoilers on this specific issue. But TJ, have you fallen out of love with Ultimate Spider-Man? And if so, why? And if not, why?
I wouldn't say I've fallen out of love with it, but I can understand why some have. For me, I think the timestamp, it doesn't really affect things because I guess, same thing would happen if I didn't know it was ending. But I will say, I've said this for the past couple issues now. I feel like we are coming to a very slow simmer now. Like, ever since we kind of got out of the, what's it called, the Harry reveal of like him like not being dead, being dead. I don't know. I just feel like you said we have 2 issues left, and this was a really good issue. I'm not saying that that I didn't enjoy it, but again, like nothing really happened. Like, nothing, I mean, a little bit, but I don't know. For me, with 2 issues left, I felt like we would have progressed a lot more. And it feels like the last like 3-4 issues have kind of been petering along. And again, that doesn't mean the books aren't good, the stories aren't good, but with that ending timestamp, it makes me like, I'm like, come on, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm like getting held back, and like I wanna get the gears moving, But I mean, yeah, it's a great issue. I just, with 2 issues left, I'm worried that we are just kind of slowly fading out.
Do you think Hickman will land the plane? 2 issues left. Where this issue leaves off, it's a very cool reveal at the end of this issue. I'll say that much. And it starts to make your head churn in some ways where it's like, oh man, who's the real villain of this story? But do you think Hickman will land this plane?
I do. And I think that's the testament to Hickman's talent as a writer, is like you just said, that even while this isn't like my favorite issue, it still has great moments that keep me coming, And I think that's that's why I'm not completely off of the book, because Hickman still gives me those moments to where I'm like, okay, this is why I'm still on this track. This is why I'm still enjoying this. So I think he will stick the landing, but I don't think that landing is going to change my thoughts of these last 3 issues kind of taking a little downward slope for me personally.
I think I mostly agree with you. I actually really, really, really like this issue. This is somehow my favorite issue of the week, maybe of the week. I really enjoyed it. The last page reveal was so cool, and it makes me ask more questions going into the last 2. I am worried about the last 2 issues being able to land the plane, and I think this is coming off of me being like, oh yeah, James Gunn will absolutely land the Peacemaker finale. He'll wrap it all up and do this and that, and it's going to be great. And, that's up for opinion. So I kind of have that going on in the back of my mind when it comes to this. I still believe in Hickman. There's a part of me that really wishes the last issue was like a supersized issue. You know what I mean? Like we have like a little bit of like a double size in
needed it.
here. I think it is a little needed. I do want to point out this is not the last we will see of Ultimate Spider-Man. We still have Ultimate Endgame after this, but I do understand also that you'd want to see this story that they are telling wrapped up in this book and not finished elsewhere, because that is a complaint we have in comics. I do really like this issue. I'm not getting any spoilers in at all because it has a very cool reveal at the end that is up for opinion in a way, up for thought on how you think about what's going on. That's all I'll say there. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. TJ, what'd you give this issue?
I give it a 4.
Okay. Sticking with Marvel, The Ultimates, number 17. This has been arguably me and TJ's favorite Ultimate book as of recent. This is written by Dennis Camp, art from Phil Noto, and letters by Travis Lanham. If anyone remembers, I do not know the number off the top of my head, and I apologize, but it was fairly early on. It was a year ago. I said that one deserved to be up for issue of the year. It was the Doctor Doom, or just Doom, issue of the Ultimates, where there's 4 panels. And if you read each panel, like where it is in the column, and then to the right, they each tell a specific time in the story. You don't read it going down. You can, but it's almost easier just go panel right to the next page, panel right to the next page, panel right, instead of down, 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 down. And the 4 horizontal panels. This plays out the exact same way. This tells a story essentially of Doom pretty much coming to terms with everything. And at the very end, it's just kind of like thrown on to us because I've almost forgot about it. The Maker returns in 1 month because Ultimate Endgame is coming. TJ, did this issue live up to the last Doom issue that I loved? Because for me, I was like, I don't think this landed as hard, but I thought it was still pretty well done. I think just the timing between the panels it was telling was a little confusing. But once when I got it, I was like, okay, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. It takes a minute to kind of really get straight, like not necessarily what's going on, but we're kind of like jumping through like a couple different scenes. So to get it like the consistency takes a minute. But I think this hit just as hard as I want to say it was issue 7, but the previous solo Doom issue. I thought it was awesome. I think it was a great follow-up to that issue. I think there's a lot of really emotional themes that we went a little further on now that we know more about Doom and like this whole plan with the Maker. And yeah, I mean, 5 out of 5. I love it. I love this version of Doom. We have talked a lot, and I'm pretty sure we've talked on the show about how I don't trust this Doom and how there's stuff going on. And I think the character is one of the most interesting of this new Ultimate lineup. So I love that we took a moment to give him a specific issue because I think it was much needed. And I mean, Denise Camp, man, Jesus, he's goddamn so good.
Also, I should have guessed. I was thinking it was this issue number, but I just want to make sure it was issue 4, which makes sense because it was. Like
I was gonna say that, but I was like, no,
issue.
You're just thinking Fantastic Four.
Exactly.
Like,
so that was actually really clever. So the 4 panels it's going through, it's like the first one is how the Maker's like screwing with Doom, essentially like how the Maker made this version of Reed. Well, actually, the first one is Reed's backstory in this Ultimate Universe. Then it's the Maker messing with him, and then it's Doom doing his best to remake the Fantastic Four by making a bunch of Fantastic Fours, and he figured out the cosmic radiation thing. And he's like, this is the only way for me to get through this. And then the last of the panels, if you go from top to bottom, right, and then all the way across, is my favorite one because it brings back Hank. And Hank is a very complicated character in Marvel Comics, for those who do not know. Not as beloved as the Hank Pym of the MCU. Very complicated history. And he talks to Doom, and I think they have a fantastic discussion, and it makes me believe, TJ, that the real villain in the end, which I think they kind of teased in the 8th issue of the Ultimates with the Guardians, like one of you's going to turn, to me is very clearly Iron Lad, who's doing too much. He's just like essentially turned into Ultron in a way. And this version of Doom, by the end of this issue, has really come to terms with everything. It feels like he's settled in the best way he can with everything that the Maker's done to him. TJ, do you agree with that? I know you always say never trust a Doom.
No,
but I think I could trust this one.
No.
Oh, sorry, never trust a Reed Richards.
I would say never trust a Reed. Yeah, Doom, that's a whole other story. But I totally agree with you. 100% agree with you. And I think avoiding spoilers as much as I can, I think we see a really great example of this, like leading us to that direction in the conversation he does have with Tony, because the entire time he is like piloting freaking bots or something, and he's like,
it's not bots, it's different versions of himself.
Or whatever.
He can be anywhere at once now.
Yeah, whatever. Main point of the story is he's not paying attention. Like, he really kind of doesn't give a shit. So I think that was subtly trying to show us, like you were just saying, Doom has like come to terms with all this, but Tony is still very much. I mean, I think we can relate it to Doom himself with the Fantastic Four. A whole, I gotta fix this. I'm gonna fix this. Mm-hmm. I'm going to fix. I think Tony is spinning the wheels and just like not even kind of realizing the whole heart of the mission. And I think, like you said, that's gonna give us a little topsy-turvy. That prophecy from issue 8 is gonna be coming clear.
On to DC, this is Absolute Wonder Woman number 13, written by Kelly Thompson. Art from Matias Bergara, colors Jordi Belair, letter Rebecca Carey, and editors Ash Padilla and Chris Conroy. This is another 2-issue mini arc after the very long kind of maze arc that we had with Diana trying to rescue an Amazon from a maze. Crazy stuff, very Greek. Loved it. And this deals with my favorite thing in any comic that has to deal with magic, whether it be Doctor Strange or magic or whatever. Magic always has a price. And what is the price for Diana constantly using magic to save the Earth? She's already paid a price herself. But what price does Earth have to pay? Well, we get to deal with that in this issue. And that's all I'll say on that because I don't want to get into any spoilers, but I really want people to read this because this is my favorite absolute book. This is my favorite absolute book. I love this version of Diana. I love this version of Wonder Woman. I love everything that they have going on with her. I think Kelly has like cracked the code to just like figuring out a new dimension to this character, a new level to this character that I think some of the other absolute titles have started to manage. I think she immediately has already done it. I think it's so well done. I love it. Art here from Matias Bergara, a kind of a fill-in artist for the next 2 issues, this issue and next. And it goes to show how important having the same colorist is, because while Matias brings a little bit of their style to everything, they keep the same look of Diana, which is great. But the colors here from Jordi Belair are exactly the same, so it doesn't feel jarring, right? We did have that Matias De Luis arc that was gorgeous, and they go into hell, and it makes sense because like you're in hell, so like the look of everything's going to be different on the last 2-issue arc. This one, we're still on Earth, so it has the same look, and I think the colors here from Jordi are perfect to keep it so everything just looks consistent. And hats off to that. I love the story here. I can't wait to see where this little 2 arc is going. No, people, it does not have to deal with Absolute Zatanna yet. We will get to that, but this is a little fill-in arc until we get to that Zatanna book. TJ, did you have the pleasure to reading this? Nope.
Unfortunately not, but it is on my list. I love this book.
I do love this book. I can't wait to get more info on it. That's all I'll say on that. A little hint,
I need
nudge,
to catch up on
nudge
this.
there.
I'm about like 4 issues behind on
Okay.
Absolute Wonder Woman. So, yeah, you just ensured that I catch up with all of those immediately.
Get in on it. This is my favorite absolute title. AF, your turn. Superman, the beating heart of apocalypse. This is a DC KO tie-in. This is written by Joshua Williamson, penciler Eddie Barros, inker Eber Ferreira, colorist Alejandro Sanchez, letter Ariana Mayer, and editors Jillian Grant and Paul Kaminsky. For those who do not know what's going on in DC KO, big fight to see who becomes a super god to take on the super god of Dark Side of the Absolute Universe. Do you need to know what's going on in DCKO to know what's going on in this issue? I'd say it helps, but it's not needed because this takes place essentially before that fight takes place. And I appreciate that as someone who doesn't want to buy a ton of tie-ins to figure out what's going on. It seemingly feels like AF, these tie-ins are here to add to the story, not so much to explain the story in other places. There's a very cool reveal at the end of this, but AF, what did you think about this issue?
Dude, I enjoyed this issue. And just to go zone in on that tie-in line that you just said, it's not always that when Marvel or DC have these huge events that the tie-ins actually pay off well. Some people don't really like them because it's just like 1 or 2 pages will acknowledge the fact that the event is happening. But Josh Williamson did such a great job with this issue in sort of weaving the storylines of Superman or the subplots of Superman with the overarching narrative of DCKO. So I enjoyed that. I did, however, feel the absence of Dan Moore. Like I could feel the absence of him in this book. Not to say that the art was bad, because Eddie Barrows' art it was still good, but once you get used to Dan Moore, man, it's so great. But essentially for me, this felt like a Lois Lane book, which is amazing. I love that. I love when she gets the spotlight. I love when she just channels this trailblazing reporter, and she just takes charge of everything. And that was amazing. That reveal right at the end with Superboy Prime, amazing. The reveal of what she found out in the Fortress of Solitude as well. Amazing. I did not see that coming. I don't know if you want to get into spoilers, but what did you think?
I don't really want to get into spoilers this week. I want people to go out and like read these books. And there's a very cool reveal. If you've been keeping up with Superman, it's a payoff of what's been going on. It's a place I didn't expect us to go back to. I'll say that much. So I'm a bit surprised. And who knows? Maybe we have a couple more players in this DCKO knockout fight royale than we anticipated, especially with the inclusion of some of these crazy Dynamite and Image and IDW characters sneaking their way into DCKO.
Homelander.
Like Homelander, like Sub-Zero, like Vampirella, Red Sonja.
That's going to be crazy, guys.
Sarah Strong, Annabelle the Haunted Doll. That one's hilarious. There's a lot of fun stuff going on in DC. It just kind of makes me smile. I mean, it's like this is a big punchy event, but sometimes I kind of dig that. We've had a lot of just big events, and I'm just digging a big punchy event right now. So this is fun. This is a solid book. I give this like a 3.54 out of 5. I think. Hey, if you agree with that.
Yeah, I think I'm in the 4 out of 5 ballpark for this one. Yeah, maybe just below. Yeah.
Sticking with DC, Justice League Red #3. This is written by Saladin Ahmed, artist Clayton Henry, colorist Arif Prianto, letterer Lucas Gattoni, editors James Reed, Kathleen Wisniewski, and Paul Kaminsky. I actually read the first issue of Justice League Red the other day. Neat little idea. Red Tornado just kind of wants his little rogue team to do the things that Justice League refuses to do. AF, what is going on in this issue? I see a big dragon.
Yeah, it's not really the fact that he wants him to do these things that the Justice League won't do. He wants them to do things that and make sure that they don't tell the Justice League about them, because this entire team that he formed, the Justice League doesn't know about them. He doesn't want the Justice League to ever know about this rogue team, and that's because whatever sort of calculations and algorithms that he's formulated in his mind to see the future passed because the Justice League deformed. So he created this team, and he's ensuring that they take care of all of these things happening around the world. And the thing that they need to do is to save Red Canary. Who is Red Canary? She was created a couple of years ago by Josh Williamson in Dark Crisis. She's part of Team Arrow. She's based her entire look on Black Canary, but just essentially a red version. So the Church of Blood, they've kidnapped her, and Simon Baz, Green Lantern, and Cyborg are on mission to go save her. They end up doing that because if they don't, the world is basically going to go to crap, and she's the key to ensuring that doesn't happen. Why that is, it ends off with that cliffhanger that they need to kill Black Adam. Black Adam is the reason why the Earth will become, as Red Tornado says, an apocalypsization, because Darkseid will take over the Earth, and Black Adam is going to be a huge cog in the show.
I'm sorry.
Darkseid
That's
is taking over the world, and you're laughing, Damon.
Yeah, no, I'm laughing over the fact that, like, look, I think this is not the intention at all, but I do think it's funny. It's like, we are going to get rid of anything that was like the Black Adam Snyderverse. Get rid of it. Black Adam, we had that book. Kill him. Get rid of him.
TJ saying the hierarchy of DCKO is about to change forever.
I'm glad you said that, TJ, because that was literally about to leave my mouth. So thank you.
So it's like the thing with Black Adam is this isn't the first time he's showing up in All In. 2 weeks ago, I spoke about Cheetah and Cheshire of the Justice League, and Clarion actually betrays that team to report all of these details to Black Adam. So Black Adam, I foresee to be a very big cog in All In this whole running over the next few months. And yeah, you'll probably start seeing him show up much more.
All right. Justice League Red. I know about Red Canary now because I am somewhat caught up on Green Arrow, which I have to shout
Finally.
out AF because he's been telling me to read this book, and now I am reading this book, and it's great. And now I'm sad that it's ending. Oops.
We have like 6 issues to go, 5 issues to go. Need to save it.
TJ, you know it's time. It's David Papo's time. Art from Jonathan Lau. Who is this?
Space Ghost. Another amazing issue. I feel like I'm saying it every week, and it's because it is true. Space Ghost is great. I absolutely cannot stress how much I love this book, how much of a fun time it is. This issue is just straight action packed. Got an awesome cosmic adventure. Space Ghost and the Ghost Crew were put between these two like warring. I guess you could say planets. It's like a freaking Shark King and like this dude made of glass. It's awesome. It's fun. Like I said, this is probably the most action-packed issue we've had in a good couple. And it's freaking awesome, dude. Like it's hard to even just say anything else besides that. It's just awesome. It's fun. It's exciting. And I say this every time we talk about Space Ghost, but I just keep them coming. Like just Dynamite, just print those things out, man, because I will take as many as you can give me.
He loves them. Highly recommend. 5 out of 5, I assume, from TJ.
Oh yeah, for sure. 5 out of 5. Like I said, this one's really, really fun. Like I said, good action, awesome.
What's the monkey friend meter on this?
Oh, unfortunately, we're a little low on the blip meter this week, but I mean, our boy still shows up. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another blip centered issue pretty soon.
Hope so. Last book of the week. Hello, Halloween from Boom Studios. This is Hello Darkness's annual in a way, because what do you need more than a monthly horror anthology? You need a Halloween special added onto it. So it takes the standard horror anthologies that Hello Darkness gives and just puts a little bit of a Halloween twist on it. So there's some like trick-or-treating stuff in here, and R.L. Stein's Graveyard Club makes a return for a short story, which is super fun. I've been loving Robert Hack also has a story in here, like a full story, but the single page story here from Robert Hack is great. And I guess AF just got blipped, so it's just me and TJ. The single page story in here, like the single page thing in here is great. Super, super, super fun. And my favorite panel is there's this little kid, and there's no words other than what's on his shirt. There's this little kid out trick-or-treating, and his shirt says "The World's Biggest Loser," and it's his dad's face, and he's wearing a mask of his dad while his dad's taking him out for trick-or-treating. I was like, oh, that one's just good. I love these. There's some really neat stories in here. Some of the visuals are incredible. There's another one about like this pumpkin-headed man that's almost like influencer-esque, getting all these kids and people to do crazy things, and then it turns out in the end, ladies and gentlemen, the pumpkin-headed man is AI. So, little commentary on that. I do recommend it. I think this is super fun. Once again, the Robert Hack stories, though. My fave. My absolute fave thing about the Hello Darkness, Hello Halloween stories. And I have 2 books next week because it's the 4th week. That's that weird time in a month where you get that extra week, and we don't have a whole lot. I am so excited to only pick up 2 books. 2 good ones, though. Absolute Batman 2025 Annual and Imperial, the final issue of Hickman's kind of like reinvention, resetting of the cosmos, if you will. AF, what you got for next week? Sir, you are muted. TJ, while AF sorts out his microphone issues, TJ, what you got? You're
I got the
muted
same
too.
thing
Oh, there you
except for Mortal Thor number 3. I was muted too for a second. I got Mortal Thor number 3, and then what you got too.
go. AF, let's try you. What do you got?
Yeah, I got both of those. I feel like Imperial number 3 came out forever ago. So just need to recap the mind a bit before I read number 4. But also I got all new Ghost Spider, Gwen Stacy Ghost Spider. Can't remember. It's a very long name, number 3. And Black Cat number 3 as well.
Oh yes, Black Cat number 3. I almost forgot about that Black Cat book. I'm gonna be reading that in collection when that eventually drops. Well, I promised a very quick episode, and I think we delivered on a pretty quick episode of the Comic Corner. Thank you all for watching, whether it is live or on demand. Shout out Beck, shout out TJ for joining us in the chat. Thank you very much, and shout out all of you for watching us after the fact. We love and appreciate all of you, and as well as the people on the podcasts who can check us out in audio form. Because why would you want to see my face? You don't want to do that. As always, make sure to go check out your local comic shops. Go to comicshoplocator.com to find the nearest comic shop near you. Be safe, be good, live your life as much as you can right now, and we'll see you again next week.